President Trump says the U.S. should be very careful about who is allowed into the country from the Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian.
I don't want to allow people that weren't supposed to be in the Bahamas to come into the United States, including some very bad people and some very bad gang members and some very, very bad drug dealers.
Now, this comes as the Bahamian government, struggles to house thousands of displaced people who arrived in the capital, which, by the way, is on an island about the size of Cincinnati. It was spared the worst of the destruction. Nikki Battiste is in Nassau, which is the capital. Nikki, what are you seeing?
Gayle, well, day after day here at this port, evacuees are streaming off ferries coming from some of the hardest hit islands, and many have nowhere to go. Meanwhile, back in the communities they've left behind, recovery workers are trying to get a grasp on the death toll, which has now risen to 50.
Piece by piece in the hot sun, urban search and rescue teams in some of the worst hit areas of the Bahamas are combing through enormous piles of debris in the wake of Hurricane Dorian. Joined by Bahamian government workers, they're continuing the grim task of recovering victims' bodies.
We've probably hit at most 1/10 of this area, and we found 5 human remains. So I would say based off of our sample size, we're going to see more.
The work is slow and tedious. Much of it is being carried out by first responders from the U.S. It's not clear exactly how long many of them intend to stay, but some told us they're here for the long haul.
We're here till the end, till as long as our departments feel the need for us to go back.
The majority of the deceased have been recovered from hard-hit Abaco Island. During our visits there, we saw some survivors who had to leave without knowing if their loved ones are alive. They're being evacuated by plane and on ferries, most with no more than a suitcase of the little they have left.
Is your home completely gone?
Everything here is done. I don't have nothing else.
We talked with some survivors on the 5-hour journey we took with them to Nassau. For so many, like Carlene Smith, where life goes from here is unclear.
Do you think you'll ever come back to Abaco?
I don't think there's gonna be another Abaco because the hurricane destroyed the place so bad.
The Department of Homeland Security says the U.S. Embassy here in Nassau is now open for emergency visa appointments. Every Bahamian citizen must have a valid passport and a travel visa if they're traveling to the U.S. Tony?
Nikki Battiste on the ongoing crisis in the Bahamas. Nikki, thank you very much.